I go out by myself and I don't drink any water. And I disregard the plans for tomorrow, and I drink another pitcher of wine. Since I come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I left my car at a bar, and there's wine spilled on my dress. God, I'm so hungover. Stop making a fool out of me. Yeah, why don't you deliver KFC? Need something greasy. 11 herbs and spices on me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My name is Tash York. I am a cabaret performer and an entertainer in lots of different venues, but cabaret is sort of my main thing these days. My particular style of cabaret is parody, so I do comedy cabaret, which means I usually do it all around a theme, and then I get a whole bunch of songs, reword them, and put them together with stories around my own life most of the time. Mine is very autobiographical. It's usually because I want to say something about either ridiculous or stupid or amazing or crazy things that have happened in my life, and kind of put it out there and be like, hey, this is relatable, right guys? Describing cabaret is a very, very interesting thing, because lots of people have their own iteration of cabaret, and even, you know, at the big festivals and whatnot, cabaret is a huge, broad section, like, you know, even in the awards section. So at my time in Adelaide Fringe, there are people that were doing full-on drag shows with people singing in the background, and they consider that cabaret. There are people that do full-on plays and, you know, with music in the background with no singing whatsoever, and they consider it cabaret. I've always thought personally that cabaret is telling stories, your own stories with music. So almost like I try to explain it to people who don't understand as like a stand-up comic, but but with a bit of music in between, but very autobiographical as well. I think that for me is a personal notion of cabaret that I think is really important.
I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Anyone drunk yet? My first solo show was These Things Take Wine, and that literally came by fluke, in the fact that I was asked to do a concert of like the best of Tash York kind of thing for a theatre that I used to do stuff with in Brisbane. Them wanting me to go there and sing some music theatre songs, and I'd just done a cabaret course with Queenie Van Der Zant, who's like a very, very like amazing cabaret performer. And she was like, all you need to do to write a show is grab all of the stuff that you love singing, and then get all of the stories that you want to talk about, and maybe all of the skills that you've got, and then just put them all down like on a whiteboard and just see what the themes are. And from there, you'll figure out a theme that the show can be about, because obviously they're the things that you want to do. And I was like, okay, cool. And so like all of them were just like, getting drunk, being drunk, a drunk girl made a drunk decision. And I was like, oh my God, I can't just write a show about just being drunk like that. No.
Before there was an iPhone or even a building, people knew that they could take grapes, put them on the ground, stamp on them, connect them, and get drunk. And this is how I feel about it. Everybody
no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
Thanks, Jiminy Cricket.
I could owe you the world. someone buy you something nice?
My show, Adulting, is all about growing up and how it's different now and how the rules have changed. It's not just about having a baby and buying a house and, you know, doing all those like typical things anymore.
My generation will grow and be much better, but everything just seems to take us so much longer. Thought that growing older would mean I'd be much wiser. University degrees would make me smarter.
There's a point in the show where I literally talk about the fact that, you know, my mum did it all right. You know, she got married to a high school sweetheart, she had a full-time job, she bought a house, she had a baby. And then my dad left her when I was 6 weeks old. And it's like, you can even do all the right things and it still doesn't work out. And you know how opposite that is for her and I.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe, but it still cost her $1,200 a month. Going around the rosy, a pocket full of posies isn't gonna pay your fucking rent. And the night goes by so very slow, 'cause I know which way I like to go.
So the cabaret scene in Melbourne in particular is great all year round. There's a independent scene that's really strong here. There's places like the Butterfly Club and Chapel Off Chapel that run cabarets all year round, which is great. Brisbane's starting to get there now. And then obviously Adelaide. Adelaide kills it as far as cabaret is concerned. Like the Adelaide Cabaret Festival is one of the most renowned cabaret festivals almost across the world.
Here I go again on my own, taking selfies on our motherfucking phones. I lead a lonely life. Ooh, I lead a lonely life. It's really hard to do.
I try and have a bit of heart in my shows always. I think that's really important to have like a moment where you're actually sharing something really deeply personal with the audience. I think that makes it more memorable. I think that's more important as far as I'm concerned, writing the work and having to perform it night after night and wanting to feel like I'm pushing myself somewhere emotionally. I've got the skills now because I MC as well, so I, you know, host lots of events and whatnot. So I've got the skills to write a whole bunch of comedic stuff that would be entertaining for an hour. I do, and so I try with my solo cabarets to take them on a bit more of a journey, to go through, you know, some stuff that's really funny and stuff that's really like tragic and stuff that's like funny, tragic still, and then stuff that's you know, deeply personal. And I think that way then, you know, like I get out of cabarets sometimes, like my solo shows, and people start talking to me about my life, like because they literally feel like they know me as my friend. And so sometimes I'm like, hey, like I actually don't know you, like, you know, like not in a mean way, but just in a like, I would love to sit and have a wine with you and, you know, talk this through, but I actually don't know your situation at all. You've just sat there and watched my show and feel like we're friends now, which is what I want to do. I think that's really important. That makes me really happy when that happens.
Everybody's free to feel good.
Everybody's free.
Everybody's free to feel good. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone between, my name is Tash York, and I'm available for corporate events, weddings, and kids' parties.
Oh my god, that was one of the most amazing shows I've ever seen. So talented! Like, I just know genuinely though, like I love Jen.
The show was absolutely incredible. The audience was just so amazing. She is one talented bitch. I absolutely loved it, and I would recommend it to absolutely everyone. Every person that you meet on the street, just tell them about it because it's so great.